Hello everybody and welcome back to the next episode of The Life and Suffering of Sir Brante. And our grandfather has just had his true death and passed away. The night of grandfather's death shook your family to the core, yet no matter how it happened, your grandfather Gregor Brante is dead and will never return. He was a fearful shadow looming over the rest of the family, the Brante patriarch exerting his influence on all the lives below him, and all of you will remember him forever. Father is the new patriarch of the family now, yet he still cannot bring himself to sit at the head of the table where Sir Gregor used to preside. Stefan locks himself away in grandfather's bedroom every day. He will not talk to anyone. Gloria and Nathan still jump at every sound that so much resembles the knocking of his walking stick. Mother spends all day in prayer at the temple. And yet the house has become calm and quiet with his passing. But there is one more thing that must be done, the final farewell. It weighs heavily upon your soul. The day comes to pay your final respects. Father goes to the tomb, alone save for Stefan, Nathan and you. Mother and Gloria stay at home. Only nobles, or those who may become nobles, may join this ritual. There is a solemn silence as you walk to the crypt. Father is the one who breaks the silence when you finally reach the door of the family crypt. Your grandfather built this crypt, and now he'll be the first Brante to remain here in body forever. The first ever noble in our family. It is our duty to hold the sacrament of flowing blood for Sir Gregor. We will honour his legacy and join him as the founder of the noble Brante dynasty. Stefan perks up his father's words. His hands still clutch grandfather's sword. Tradition decrees it must remain in the niche above the owner's sarcophagus. Nathan, on the other hand, looks even more frightened now. Stairs carved white stone lead you downwards. Deep in the gloom of the crypt, atop a pedestal, you see the sarcophagus that holds grandfather's body. Father takes a moment to compose himself before paying his final respects. Gregor Brante, my father, brought our family into nobility through his unshakable will. He was a judge and a loyal servant to the empire. He lived his life as he had been born a noble, and he never strayed from the path he had chosen. He sought to make the Brante family ennobled by the sword, so that our children's children might be of noble birth. The twins know I abided by my father's words all my life, even if I could not obey him every time. Father lets off a bitter chuckle as he says this. Stefan glares at father, then turns to glare at Nathan and you. After all, the two of you are born of father's shameful decision to marry a commoner. All you remember his disastrous passing. He did not die the true death he deserved, yet we almost know that he fought for the future he believed in to the very end, and he would be proud to see his family bid him farewell with the sacrament of the nobility. Stefan still glares at father sullenly. His fingers remain clutched around grandfather's sword. Nathan barely pays attention to the words. He looks around with unease, his arms folded across his chest. Father reaches into his jacket and pulls out a slender dagger, thin and sharp. He takes off his gloves. Watch me carefully, my sons. Make a small cut on the palm of your hand, and let your blood flow into the duct on the wall of the crypt. It will join your grandfather's blood here and flow forever. Then ancestor and progeny will become one. We shall enter our family's blood tide and receive grandfather's final blessing, for his blood flows first in our blood tide. He will respond to you. You are part of him, and he part of you. With a quick motion, father slices his hand and holds the bleeding cut above a small opening in the wall. He then hands the dagger to Stefan, who does the same, without hesitation. You receive the dagger next. The dagger handle feels warm. You hesitate for a moment as you look at the palm of your hand. If you participate in this ritual, you will enter the Brante blood tide. You, a lowborn child, a child who is still a commoner. Are you ready to claim your legacy as the descendant of the nobleman Gregor Brante? The eyes of your father and brothers are upon you. Nathan, your youngest brother, will follow your example. You can be certain of this. Okay, so we can't enter his blood. We can't ask his spirit because we aren't liked by Gregor, the spirit of Gregor, and our nobility is not high enough. We can't bleed because we don't have the noble sacrament. You still recall your first sacrament and how you defy the lash. You are Gregor's Brante grandson, and so you deserve to enter his blood tide. We can't do either of these. We're going to have to give the dagger back. So we are going to refuse to participate in the ritual. After all, you do not bear the nobleman's lot. So this is how our decisions earlier on in the game are starting to affect us now. It's the only choice we have. You return the dagger to father and say you cannot participate in the ritual. You are a commoner and your back bears the mark of the lash. Grandfather would never have let you on his name as a nobleman. Nathan nods in agreement. You do not deserve this honour. Father burrows his brow and shakes his head. It's probably right though, grandfather wouldn't like this. Stefan, help me close the lid of the sarcophagus and remember to ask for grandfather for his blessing. As for you two, it seems you weren't ready to walk the nobleman's path after all. You're right, son, your grandfather would never have allowed it. I still hope we can, though. The lid of the sarcophagus falls into place with a heavy, resonant thud. Then suddenly you all freeze as each of you hears your late grandfather speak to you. His voice is loud, as if it rings in the depths of the crypt, and yet he speaks to each of you separately. Foul blood weakling! I knew you never had it in you to rise above your meagre birth, Montgomery. You have not a drop of nobility in you, and your pathetic little brother is the same. You are a taint upon my flesh and blood. Be gone from my crypt. Your legs carry out of the crypt of their own accord. Out of that stuffy crypt, you can finally breathe again. You hear slow footsteps behind you, and you turn around and meet Nathan's gaze. You did the right thing. If it weren't for you, I'd have done what Father told us. Grandfather said I should stay away from his legacy. Said it'll do me no good if I try to follow in his footsteps. How's that for words of guidance, eh? Nathan sighs as he embraces you. Father and Stefan leave the crypt much later and walk into the carriage without a word. You and Nathan humbly follow behind them. So one relation down with our father, but one up with Nathan, and our willpower goes back up to ready for action. I do still hope we can become a nobleman. I'm hoping that's not going to be the all. Hello, forbidden love. This event is a consequence of your previous actions, because we have nobody above 4. So this is an event we wouldn't necessarily have gotten. Another day of school is behind you, and you are now wandering your district, taking your time before going home. It is getting dark. Soon you're walking past the splendid mansion of Count Velasco, one of Magra's richest landlords. You hear a familiar voice on the other side of the iron fence. It is Stefan's voice. It is followed by the sound of a young lady laughing. You peek through the fence and into the mansion's garden. Indeed, there you see your elder brother, just like he's going to meet the Emperor himself. He is currently busy helping a pretty young lady out of the window. She locks him in an emotional stance. You recognise her. Maria Velasco, Count Velasco's daughter. And as the whole city knows, she is already betrothed to another young nobleman from a far more illustrious family. Oh, Maria, I thought I would help you come down to earth from your heavenly abode, but your very touch brings me to the heavens. He picks the Count's daughter up and holds her in the air. She laughs, almost imperceptibly, and kisses him on the cheek. But then Stefan takes her by the chin and turns her to face him, their lips join in a kiss. A flurry of emotions washes over you as you watch it happen. Oh, Stefan, what have you done? Stefan is putting the reputation of the entire family at risk. Acting so frivolously with the Count's daughter may turn the Count's influence against all the Brantes. And yet Stefan always speaks so highly of noble bearing and composure and family honour. Stefan's face is glowing with joy. Your older brother is happy, truly happy. You've never seen Stefan like this, as his arms hold the Count's daughter in a tender embrace, so gently, as though he fears to hurt her. And Maria reciprocates his feelings. Can't say that word. Must he really rob them of their secret joy? If you ever speak to him about this, no one else must hear it. You wait by the gate patiently until Stefan decides to return from his escapades. He is startled when he finally notices you standing by the gate. Oh, this is going to be a tough one. If Stefan keeps acting like this, he'll bring disgrace upon the entire family. Or aid him. I think we're going to try to aid him, because I feel like having his influence on our side would be useful. I just hope it doesn't backfire in the future. What are you doing here at this late hour, Montgomery? Is there something you wish to tell me? You confessed to Stefan that you saw him today in the El Velasco garden with the Count's daughter. This affair puts both families' honour at risk, yet you say you are happy for him. You can see how much he cares for her. No matter what, it is worth the risk. Stefan can trust you with this secret. You assure him the two of you will keep it together. Stefan reacts to you with anger at first, but your supportive words calm him down. You've got all the makings of a professional spy, but you're right, the risk is too great. Your aid will not go amiss. You are no nobleman yet, but I hope your word is worth my trust. From that day on, you help Stefan and Maria avoid attention on many occasions. You even have to distract El Velasco's manservants and lead them away on a wild goose chase through the district. In the end, you are never caught, and you earn your brother yet another night with his beloved. They are both aware that days of hidden love are numbered. But how will your escapades affect the family reputation? You and your brother agree, whatever happens, young love is worth this risk. I'm not sure it is, but at least our ingenuity's gone up, as well as a little bit of our spirituality as well. See what the consequences of that will be in the future. So yes, Stefan's disgrace. We found out by your elder brother's forbidden love. Let's hope that doesn't come back to haunt us at a later stage. This event is a consequence of your previous actions. We've met a high level of ingenuity, which is good. You and Thomas are to explore the streets of the castle district. You delve deep into the district, right to the old siege walls of Anazotti. The city needs these walls no longer. There are no more enemies left for the Empire to fight since the twins descended and chose the Tempest dynasty to rule the Empire. It has spread from sea to sea, bringing its rule and peace for many generations. The two of you gaze in awe at the old charcoal black marks on the former fortress walls. They say magic wielders during Char Milonidus' rebellion could conjure gusts of fire with their own hands. The rebellious Duke fought against the Emperor and the Church of the Twin Gods in the days of yore, but nothing remains of the rebellion, now save for scorched ruins and parched lands throughout Magra. You and your friends study the old walls and daydream about the battles that took place here during the rebellion. But then you hear a muffled voice coming from somewhere below the ground. You look around and find a hole in the brickwork where the sounds are coming from. Naturally, you take a peek. You see a half-ruined hall built below the ground, and a handful of young men and women standing there in the dark. They look a little bit older than you and are wearing plain shirts and dresses. A young man is standing on the piece of crumbled wall, reciting some of his poetry. It tells the story of a nobleman who fell into a puddle thanks to his gaudy cloak, and none of his noble bearing was of any help. He ends it with a farcical bow. You hear applause and laughter. He gets down from the crumbled wall and a young girl takes his place. You cannot see her face in the darkness, but hers is a voice you could recognise anywhere. It's Gloria. Your sister begins to recite a poem she has written. I'm guessing this is a secret poetry, society, club, whatever you want to call it, for people of the common lot who aren't supposed to be indulging these matters which are only reserved for the nobility. Nay, Gloria, yours is no proper life. You are to be a mother and a wife. Accept the kitchen apron for a gag, and lo, another voice now takes a crack. You're straying from your lot, you've got some nerve. Rise down, be obedient and serve. Your husband, children, house, they are your absolute. Nay, Gloria, you are but rotten fruit. You lean down to hear her better, but sand and stones fall from under your feet and into the underground hall. Gloria looks up and meets your gaze, and Thomas pulls you away from the hole. So they're reading poems, imagine that. They sure hate nobles, and even Gloria. I never thought your sister could do that. But they're going to get into trouble if they get spotted by an adult. Bad-mouthing a noble will get you flogged into next week, not to mention all the trouble you can get in for writing poems if you're a commoner. You better tell your sister to lay off, we better stay away from them too. You nod. Being around these people puts Gloria in greater danger, but you know your sister, it will not be easy to tell her this. Adventure in the castle district is done for tonight. You and your friend return home. Oh, that's going to be tough. During dinner, Gloria will not look at you. Her hair is all dishevelled. Is she afraid or is she ashamed? You are also worried sick. These literary gatherings may spell danger for your sister. But for an illegitimate child like her, there are so few ways to forge her own path. Dinner is over. Soon you and Gloria are alone at the table. What are you going to tell her? We've already said we'll keep Stefan's secret. It's a little bit rude if we don't keep Gloria's secret as well. But again, this could backfire terribly. Gloria finally looks at you. You wink at your sister and promise to keep her secret. You praise the poetry you were able to overhear and confess that you are impressed. A big joyous smile appears on her face. I'm so happy, brother. I thought you were about to tell me to stop going there and say what mother says about my lot, but I'm glad you're not like that. Me and my friends, without our poetry we don't have anything else left. Nothing but our abysmal daily lives. At least we can laugh about it this way. You get serious and tell her that her friends need to work much harder to hide their secrets. After all, this secret passion could end badly for them if they get caught. The best way out of this is to meet in a new place every time. You list off several abandoned places nearby that nobody will ever look for them. You promise her that if she ever comes close to danger, you will be there to protect her. Gloria nods and plants a kiss of sisterly joy on your cheek. So ingenuity's going up as well. Good. So yes, secrets of the family for sure. Lots of secrets from the family. Both Stefan and Gloria. The fugitive girl, grandfather's passing and last respects have left a mark on the entire family. His words related in the hereafter keep echoing in your mind. You still do your best to avoid the memory of grandfather's last night, and spend more time on the city streets with Thomas and your other classmates. The road by the house reminds you of another clash with death. Sometimes as you walk along that road you call Sophia, the beautiful girl with the wonderful eyes and the terrifying thundering hooves. You have not seen Sophia since that fateful day. The children who live nearby say her parents sent her to serve a rich Arcanian family, the Ottons, as a servant. The sun has set, the pillar shines palely in the dark sky. Thomas is ill, so you decide to visit him and tell him the latest news. The streets seem oddly agitated tonight, full of horses, cloaked men, strange faces and hushed voices. A young nobleman is in a heavy embroidered cloak, is walking back and forth, clutching at his sword nervously. There is a grimace of rage on his delicate blue face. He is an Arcanian. You overhear voices. Sir Otton, the girl's not at home. You search the house. Her parents swear she ran away from home too. They claim they wanted to bring her back. Just do whatever it takes. Turn this loathsome district upside down if you must, but bring my servant back to me. She's here. Sophia? Ran away from an Arcanian? How can this be? There was only one place on the entire street where a person could hide. The abandoned Morel house, 4 houses away from yours. You head there, doing your best not to attract attention. The lopsided house of yellow brick has been abandoned for 20 years or so. You remember playing there as a boy. You glimpse a figure before you even enter. A pair of eyes glimmer in the dark. You would recognise them even after another 4 years. Sophia's grown up and she is almost an adult now, and her face is full of fear. She's not the easygoing girl next door that you remember. She finally recognises you. Oh, it's you, Montgomery. Be quiet, they're looking for me. I ran away from the youngest Otton. I might be in for lesser death here, but I'd rather die than spend another day in their slavery. I'm just a thing to him, just a toy to play with. Sophia winces and closes her mouth as she says this. There is a glint of bright yellow deep in her eyes. I ran to my parents, I told them all about the men I had to serve, and they went and alerted the Ottons. They don't want to be the target of their ire, But you aren't going to tip them off, are you? The barking and shouting are getting closer. Sophia's voice grows quiet. She runs off to the darkest corner of the house before you can answer. One of Otton's servants is so close you can hear his cloak swishing against the ground. He notices something and calls for others. There are more voices around you now. They approach the house from the yard and surround it. One of them seems particularly snappy, annoyed and impatient. You have already heard this voice today. If you're in there, girl, you'd be wise to come out and quit wasting my time, or we'll be forgiven and you'll go back to where you were. You know it. And if you don't, I'll drag you out by the hair. Oh boy. The hilt to the Arcanian's sword bashes at the door. He is about to lose his patience for good. Sophia hugs the wall in the dark, trying to stay still. She glances at you. What will you do? Your heart is racing. Can you act against the Arcanian's orders? Do you have the gall to defy the mighty nobleman? Okay, we can't bring Sophia back to Otton. We could try stop him, but I don't think that's going to really help. We could help Sophia flee. Or hide alone. I'm going to regret this, aren't I? Let's try to get her out of here. You grab Sophia's hand as you run down the stairs to the old cellar. She resists you at first until she reads your lips. There is a secret way out. You snake your way into the cellar, leading the way. The floorboards groan above your heads as the Arcanian and his men search the house. But only children who grew up in this district know this cellar leads to the neighbouring district. You lead Sophia to the hole in the cellar floor and help her squeeze in. There it is, an odd tunnel that leads to a well 2 streets away. None of the children know who dug it, yet you played here and chased each other through it so many times as a lad. And now the secret passage will rescue Sophia from genuine pursuit. Soon you're in the well. There is nothing above you save for the sky full of clouds. You wait until you hear no more steps around you, then climb out of the well and help Sophia up. You lead the way to the slums around the temple district, the easiest place to disappear. A dog in a nearby house starts barking, and one of Otton's men appears in front of you. You take a step back as your fingers search for a brick ready to defend Sophia no matter the cost. She squeezes your hand and then you hear a high-pitched scream of rage. A flash of yellow light stuns you. In the blink of an eye, Otton's man freezes and collapses, unable to get up. This might have been a mistake. Sophia's eyes are no longer sky blue, they are yellow now. She lets go of your hand and you recoil in fear. You weren't supposed to see that, Montgomery. Don't worry, I won't hurt you, but I won't let them take me. I won't go back to Otton after this. I need to run as far as my legs can take me. Thank you for helping me, and farewell. Sophia gives you a gentle kiss on the cheek and disappears down the dark alleyway. You stand there, stunned. Sophia is a witch? Her magic bound Otton's man by the arms and legs and made him unable to move. You hear Otton's screams of rage and the thumping of his men's feet, but Sophia is long gone. It's a shame that this was all you could do for her. Okay, so Sophia trusts us, that's good. Probably not a bad thing to have a witch on side, that's for sure. The runaway girl becomes the talk of your district for an entire week. You overhear that Sophia managed to flee the city. The Ottons are furious. After this sudden appearance, she disappears from your life once more. You'll not see her again until much, much later. Willpower's gone down, but we have helped her out, and no one seems to have attributed this to us, which is probably a good thing, actually. You're about to turn 15, just one step away from adulthood. Mother is acting anxious at dinner today, barely touching her food. You exchange glances with Gloria. She carefully tells you that she wants to go to the tailor. Mother shudders and her hands clench into fists. No, don't you dare leave home today, I forbid it. That dirty heretic Fotis is preaching his lies. Under the silver tree today, twins winning, I don't want you to hear any of that. You and Gloria glance again. Fotis, he is a patriarch, the head of the clergy throughout the entire province. That is the first time you've heard Mother speak like that about a priest, especially such a high-ranking one. Once you leave the dinner table, Gloria comes to your room with a cunning expression on her face, like she's about to play a trick on someone. She has a plan. The two of you should sneak out of the house and go to the silver tree. You simply must hear that sermon for yourself. What's so bad about Patriarch Fotis, and why does Mother hate him so much? You two are grown-ups now, surely you have the right to know. You agree with your sister, and together you sneak out from under your mother's watchful eye and hurry to the silver tree. The temple block is full of people from all ranks and estate. There is barely enough room for you to squeeze through the crowd. The crowd has gathered around the very roots of the tree. Gloria suggests that you climb up to the roof of a nearby building so you can hear and see everything better, and not a moment too soon. From the roof you see a tall, silver-haired priest step onto the platform by the tree. Dressed in the common black robe that looks far beneath his rank, yet he stands like a noble before the crowd. Behind his back is a banner flapping in the wind, the open book. This is the symbol of the new faith, the crowd whispers. The patriarch holds his hands up to the sky, and the entire temple block grows quiet. He begins his sermon, his vibrant voice rolling across the square. Fotis speaks of a great mistake. We entrust ourselves to the lots as the only way to fulfill divine providence in this world. But for all these years, the will of the twins has been interpreted for us by a single man. Prophet Isastius. Something like that. The twins overwatching from atop the shining pillar. Of this we have no doubt, but how can we so blindly believe that we truly follow their will by following the lots? Have we not seen the three lots of Isastius fail again and again to answer the question of how we ought to live our lives? Have we not seen people change their lot in life again and again without being smitten by divine wrath? Every person born, whether human, Archnean, lowborn or noble, must find their lot and the way to the gods on their own. From now on we will see the gods in the accounts of their own lives, in their own acts in this world, and in their own words as they echo within us. And as we heed the voice of the twins within, we will each find their path for us on our own. The crowd of the silver tree listens to the patriarch's speech in stunned silence. You glance at your sister, her eyes glisten with tears as she hears Fotis' words. Then suddenly a hoarse cry rises from the crowd. If there are no lots, does that mean the nobles are going to fill the fields, and the commoners are going to bear arms? The crowd begins to murmur. The patriarch raises an arm and inhales, ready to answer. An odd figure leaps from the crowd onto the platform, a dirty beggar dressed in rags. A knife flashes in his hand. The blade slices, blood starts spurting from Fotis' throat. He slumps over and collapses. A dark brown puddle spreads across the platform where he had stood, and Gloria clutches her mouth to suppress a shriek. A few minutes of stunned silence, and then the screams begin. The people are frantic, the temple guards try to restore order in the crowd, but to no avail. An old woman dressed in an inquisitor's cassock tries in vain to apply pressure to the patriarch's wound. The nobles draw their swords, dogs are barking. The crowd is pushing and shoving. Children are crying. The entire square by the tree is in chaos. From the roof you see the moment where people start trampling each other, howling, praying, shouting. Gloria tugs on your sleeve. It's time to go. You climb down from the roof and run. You return home without exchanging a word. Mother has been in her room all the while, so no one noticed your absence. Gloria locks herself in her room. You do not discuss the things you have just seen. They are too frightening. but your parents discuss every little detail of the blood-stained sermon over dinner. This is unbelievable. A patriarch murdered in plain sight. The gendarmes and the Archduke's guards have searched every corner of the slums, and the murderous beggar has disappeared without a trace. I can't even imagine a more gruesome crime. Fotis has died a true death, never to return from the hereafter. But how? Why can't the patriarch be reborn? He's so close to the twins. Such is the way of the world, my child. Once you're greeted great power by the twins' will, there is no hope for you to come back, not even after the first of your deaths. Emperors, their powerful vassals, heads of great Archenian dynasties, patriarchs of the church, none of them are destined to be reborn. Fotis is gone forever. I fear for his soul. It was lost in doubt. Will the twins accept him upon the peak of the pillar? We must pray for the patriarch, children. Let us hope he managed to return to the true old faith before the moment of his passing. But there is little hope for that. So discontent grows, and the old faith is starting to take over from the new faith. Or the new faith is starting to take over from the old faith as things change. And I think we'll leave things there. Next time, we turn 16 and probably see what the future has in store for us. Learned a little bit more about the new religions, or the different religion types, as well as learning secrets from both our brother and sister. We decided to keep them to ourselves. Who knows what consequences that will bring in the future. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.